Calling the meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. It is November 2nd, 2021. All councilors are present. City Manager Dave Hoagland and City Clerk / Treasurer Lee Gertz also in attendance. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0. We have on us a public hearing. Open the public hearing, proposal to enter to the sewer refunding loan agreement.
Motion.
Motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing no discussion. Councilmember Bronick?
Yes.
Councilmember Zacharias? Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. We're open. This is the sewer refunding loan agreement. Is there anyone in the public here tonight for the open hearing? I don't believe so. Is there anyone on Zoom?
No, Mr. Mayor,
Okay. Did we get any correspondence?
we did not, Mr. Mayor.
Council, any correspondence or anything from?
No.
Okay. Is there a motion to close?
Motion to close?
Second.
Motion and second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Councilmember Brock?
Yes.
Councilmember Zacharias?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Did he say Rock or did he say Browning?
I said Brock. Councilmember McFerrin?
Yes.
Councilmember Brock?
Yes.
Yeah, we got our five.
It just sounded like me, so I answered. Sorry,
Okay, and
I heard the K part. That was probably what it is.
resolution 2021-1102-58, resolution taking action, additional action on the proposal to enter into a sewer refunding loan agreement.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Just a reminder to council, the refunding, again, we're not borrowing any new debt. It's just simply a refunding of the existing debt for a lower rate.
Right, just for the residents, if anybody may be watching, it's kind of like if you refinanced your home or something, we're refinancing our sewer loan at a better rate. So that saves the residents money.
Should save somewhere in the neighborhood between $60,000 and $70,000 based on what they sell
And then to wrap up, they're looking to place it locally.
globally as well.
Usually I think they give the two banks the first choice or first chance. Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, let's go Zacharias.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Yes.
Rock,
Yes.
Brandon,
Yes.
passes 5-0. We have one item on the consent agenda and is the regular council meeting minutes for October 19, 2021.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0. We have a vendor voucher claims list in front of us tonight. Oh, it's kind of small, $250,740.79.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
We're just holding back until the next one.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0. We're on to public comments. Steve, I know that you're on a little bit later, so do you have anything else for the council though?
No,
That's
I
outside of
don't.
that?
I'm just interested to listen to this. I've fought this thing since March, trying to get it to where I can build a house. And it was a learning experience. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone on Zoom for public comments?
I do not show anyone, Mr. Mayor.
Let's go around to the council. Councilmember Rock. Councilmember Farren.
Yes, I do. A couple of things to make mention. I've heard a couple of comments on stump removal on Third Street is still needed because these are trees that were taken down last year.
I got with Adam today and he kind of gave me the numbers over the last 5+ years they've taken down.
Okay,
Some of the neighborhood of 170 to 180 trees.
Mm.
And they have 43 stumps left to remove. So
they're working.
they're still working. He hopes to get some more done this week, but it's gonna take a little bit longer, but they know that they've got them. But they've come a
Okay.
long way since they've taken that many trees down.
Okay, and then also, we need a dog park in town. That was another comment. I kind of thought, well, the baseball diamond that's way on the east edge of our town by Wapsie River, is it Growinkle or Growinkle? It's the last diamond on Wapsie. It's,
At the end of Corn Street.
yes, at the end of Corn Street. It actually has a little parking area. I thought that would make an excellent area, but I know Nick is working on that, but I wanted to relay that.
Yeah, I can certainly pat it on, they've had their first meeting with my state for their master plan. I do believe that's one of the issues.
Okay.
And we do have your strategic planning coming up.
As
so-
well,
And then after hours call line, is that up to?
it is up and running. There have been some issues. They tested that yesterday and those numbers now transferred to where they need to go.
Okay, and then on November 11th, C's closed, so no trash pickup, is that correct?
That's correct.
No C's, okay. And then I just wanted to make a note for myself that I'm gonna revisit the whole coffee with council again on my own time. So on Saturday, November 13th, I plan to be at West Liberty Foods Market at 10 in the morning till about noonish. And so yeah, and just label it coffee with council. If any of the general public or anybody wants to join me or stop in, you're welcome to at West Liberty Foods, 10 a.m. on Saturday, November 13th.
It's already taken, that is already taken, okay.
The date's already taken?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Yes or no?
Um,
I am there at 10 a.m. every day.
Oh,
Councilmember McFerrin, we'll make sure we share that with our communications,
okay,
and have them put that on social media. Okay,
excellent. And that's all I had.
just remember no more than 2 council members.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
okay,
I got it.
yep, okay. That's all I had.
Councilmember Smith, Councilmember Zacharias, Councilmember Brown.
Yes. I had a person stop me today and ask about the columbariums and when they're going to be numbered and ready because they have a family member they would like to have put away before winter sets in.
Well, so Councilmember Veronic, we are currently working with a company now to get the numbering and
Is there any way for them to have their little service before they're numbered? Or do we need to have them numbered for the deeds?
we have to have a number for the deeds in order to do a receipt. You know what, I'm gonna get back with you on that.
Okay, I was just asked because they would really, they've been waiting. They bought their spaces.
Yep.
And they would like to really do it before winter sets in. So I said I would bring it up because I knew we talked about the numbering.
We can, the problem is that do you remember the doors not closing because of the shifting?
Yeah.
Okay. Mhm. So, Councilmember Browning, would you want to stop by the office and we'll visit more about,
Okay,
so we can assist the individuals?
okay, that's the only thing I had.
For the city administration, anything email, mail, walk-in?
The one item that we had, I did share with council was, we had an IUB complaint with Mr. Olson. And we received correspondence from IUB that the city was found to be correct within the requirements for location of a electric line. And I have that available at City Hall if anyone wants to have more information on that.
I guess the only other thing that I would have, I believe, Diane and Jose and Carrie, you both had gotten an email from Mr. Price regarding some nuisance issues. and
I didn't.
I got early on.
I thought you were on that one originally.
Close friend.
Oh, it's a different one. Another issue that we took care of. I think you received one from Mr. Price. We did meet with him. We went out and took care of those, and the last item has been cleaned up and removed. So just want to let you know that was. And you're right, it was a different issue that the three of you were on. My mistake. My apologies.
And then the final item is Pat Callahan from Callahan Associates provided the work session information, and I'll be emailing that out. And we'll be visiting with our staff on it at the meeting this coming week. So.
Okay, and also have you guys given any thought about rededicating the statue for the open house holiday?
I've not given any further discussion on that.
Lady Liberty.
Yes. I just thought that would probably be the
I thought the
opportune
last meeting, I thought there was some discussion about maybe doing the rededication this year, but knowing that we weren't gonna probably have an open house in the public for the work at City Hall. until
right,
next year.
right. No, I'm just,
But we really hadn't gotten any direction from council, so I think if council wants to do that, we could certainly get something set up, and have that done, if that's what you would like to see.
well, a couple of things that I'm thinking of is that's probably a lot of times the most people we have downtown at one time. And number two, would really, I would really like to have Chuck Newcomb be part of the dedication. I don't know what his health is. I did talk to Mrs. Newcomb briefly in the last couple of hours when I ran into her. And that just asked how he was doing, and I didn't get an elaborate detail of what his health status is, but I guess since he was one of the first original, was he a Cub Scout or Boy Scout at that time?
Cub Scout. He
Cub
was a Cub
Scout.
Scout.
That dedicated it, that would be a neat thing to have done for the rededication.
I'd be happy to work with you to see what you'd like for a rededication.
Okay,
And
let's,
something set up.
Yeah, would you, just a quick question, just so we know, are you thinking you want to coordinate that with the holiday open house event? And if so, I would reach out to the chamber to make sure that they knew what our plan was. I know in past historically, we've done the lighting of the tree. So I don't know if we want to coordinate the lighting of the tree and the statue dedication. And again, I want to reach out to the chamber to make sure.
okay. But I'll give you a call tomorrow morning, Dave, and we can kind of go about that. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to our resolutions, which are in our new business. Resolution 2021-102-59 to change order number 8 for City Hall and Police Building upgrades, SG corrections in the amount of $162.50.
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion?
I would like not to pay any money gave us.
We are down, we had a walkthrough last Friday. There were a couple items we have two not be finished until spring. That mainly being around the planter. It's getting too cold for them to do the skim coat on the planter and then put the flashing on the back side of that below the window. So we'll end up holding that. And typically you can withhold retainage to a value of, I think it's double of what the work is. We may try to have a set amounts to ensure that they're back, but I don't have any belief that they won't come back to do it. The rest of the items, we had a small punch list, and a lot of it's just nitpicky things that we want it done. I think we're hoping to try to have most of that done this week, early next week, but most everything is finished. We've talked about starting to have a move-in process, and hopefully, if we can get the handrails fabricated and installed, we'd like to be back in the building by the end of November.
If they're gonna skim coat that, we're gonna put the rail on first.
We'll put the rails on, the rails will have to come off when they go to skim coating.
Okay.
It shouldn't be a big deal.
And back where those windows, that crack is under there.
That's where the flashing goes.
Right, but what I'm saying is there a way
And
that
we-
they can cover that because of
we
the
talked-
ice and water?
We talked to him about that. That was for the contractor.
Okay.
And he felt like we shouldn't have any issues with the material that's back behind the concrete in the building.
Okay,
Even with any snow or rain, we should be okay.
okay,
And we had that duly noted in the discussion. in the minutes.
So, Councilmember Zacharias, would you recommend though eventually somewhere in this proceedings to hold back the retainage?
We have $25,000 still being held in retainage. So at some point, once we kind of close out, other than that issue, they're gonna probably want some of the retainage released, and we'll have to have an agreed upon amount that we want to withhold. So, but we'll have enough to take that one.
Who can answer this, but I know we've always percentage of the overall project to have change order.
Mhm.
Have we met that percentage?
I can't answer that. I'd have to
I don't
look
know
at
if
the,
Leo can answer that.
Well, I'm sorry, I heard you say something about percentage on change order. Can you explain it one more time?
We always expect a certain goal to allow that in the process.
Yeah, usually on a rehab type project like this, we would estimate 10%. This one, just off the top of my head, looks like it's up to 15%. There were a lot of unknowns. We didn't have plans for some of the building. So I think it's right around that 15%. So we're a little above where we normally are. But I think that's just due to the type of construction it is.
So of all the change orders in this project, we're up to like 15%, at least over what we planned.
15% of the construction cost. So I was just guesstimating here, but the construction cost estimate for that project, the original contract amount was 441, and we're at 60,000 in change orders.
Okay, so we're, yeah, definitely.
Any other questions? Any further discussion? Hearing none, Councilmember Bronick,
Yes.
Councilmember Zacharias.
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
yes.
McFerrin,
Yes.
Rock,
Yes.
passes 5-0. We have resolution -60, and this is pay estimate number 7 in the amount of $13,302.49. This is for the police department and city hall building upgrade.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Councilmember Rock,
Yes.
Councilmember McFerrin,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Zacharias, Councilmember Bronner.
Yes.
Passes 5-0. Resolution -61, resolution naming depositories for the funds of the city of West Liberty, Iowa.
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Councilmember,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Rock, Councilmember Zacharias,
Yes.
Councilmember Brown.
Yes.
Passes 5-0. Steve, we're on to your resolution. This
Nope.
is, no?
We've got
Did I
the-
skip one?
You missed one.
The
Codification.
Oh, sorry about that. This is -60, resolution approving agreement with, is it Cimarine,
Codification, yes.
Iowa Codification? Is there a motion?
Motion. Second.
Motion is second. Discussion?
I would just remind you, this is at the last meeting, we had indicated that we were going to bring this before you. Cimarine and Corey is a longtime codification company here in Iowa. They do a number of Iowa cities. I like the format better. I think it will be set out differently. What this project will do, it will take everything since 2018, all of our ordinances will be recodified. They'll look at all the changes in the state. With Justin yesterday, because you do have a change. We had that change where he said that the code books were 163 without the binders and the tabs, but that wasn't true. So you get that change. You do have some sample policy. You've got some sample codes of what a lot of cities are doing in certain areas, and he said yes. So we've got sections in our code that are very difficult to read and understand. So we're going to look to try to simplify this, but still have the information that is necessary. This process will take somewhere between 12 and 15 months. There'll be a lot of input from staff. And once that document, it'll be easier for all of us to use as well as the general public. And it'll be hosted on our website yearly for a fee of $450. But the fee for this, it comes in 3 pieces. It's $9,000, which is very reasonable. In the last 2 codes I've done, I spent $15,000 and $20,000 to have them redone in Missouri.
I
So,
think our last convocation was up in the 20s.
and I've worked with these folks twice in Iowa, and I've been very pleased with the work that they've done. They do have new owners. I mean, they kept the Syrian and Quarry name. I think they still put out a good solid product, but both of the original owners have since passed. And I do know the current owner. I've known him for a long time. They'll do a nice job for us. So,
Now, we had a slight adjustment, you said, on the pages.
On
Was-
page 2 of the agreement,
Right,
under item 1.6, in the original one that was sent out, it said in the last sentence, it said additional copies of the code will be $163 each, and it said without new binders and tabs. And that was different than the letter, but it is with the binders and tabs. So any additional books that we would purchase, I mean, they're gonna provide one, and I know that we had a discussion today about how many code books that we should have, and I had shared with Kara that, in some cities I've worked with, we've had 10 copies because the mayor and council all wanted one. But I said, probably the bare minimum, we need at least 3, one in our office, one for PD. And then I always like to keep one at the library where people can come in. If they don't want to come to City Hall, they can come to the library, they can pull that code book, and they can't check it out, but they can look at it in the library and check things out. So I think at a bare minimum 3, but, if we need more, we can order.
okay. Well, I was just wondering whether or not that change took place after the date that's listed, October 28th. Or do we need to revisit that date?
That's a small enough change that
Okay.
we should be fine.
Okay, I wasn't sure. All right, that's all I.
He basically took out the word out.
Oh,
We went from without to with.
okay,
It's a minor enough change.
fine, okay.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Zacharias.
Yes.
Councilmember Brunick,
Yes.
Councilmember Roth,
Yes.
Councilmember McFerrin,
Yes,
passes 5-0. We're on the resolution -63, and this is a resolution to accept and approve Deer View Acres Edition. It is a re-subdivision of Muscatine Auditors Parcel K, southeast 4th of the northeast 4th of section 14, TY78N-R4W of the 5th PM.
Motions.
second,
Motion and second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Councilmember Rock,
Yes.
Councilmember McFerrin,
yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Zacharias, Councilmember Brunick,
Yes.
passes 5-0. I thought I had run into a different one when I went, so I'm like, the 5th PM?
So, Mr. Mayor, if you just want to, so Steve. And we'll send that, I'll send
Yeah,
that,
they just have to have that signed off before I meet the 12th with the county.
Yep. and I'll
So-
send that over tomorrow.
Perfect, thank you.
Yes, thank you for. coming
Thanks
by.
for
Thank you, Steve.
Yep.
Next on the agenda is setting a date for the strategic planning session with Callahan Associates. Looks like the date that's suggested is December 1st at 5 PM.
Motion.
Second,
Motion second. Is there any further discussion?
So, Mr. Mayor, originally we had set it for December 2nd. And Pat had a schedule conflict, and he asked if he could change it to December 1st. And we didn't see an issue with that. It'll be on a Wednesday night versus Thursday night, same time. And I did explain to him that we still wasn't sure for the meeting place yet, but we would let him know.
Sounds great. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Good.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0. Next, we need to set up a public safety committee meeting to review police department staffing, equipment, and downtown parking for residents. Do we have a day for the public safety committee? Or do you just want the blessing of the council and you guys can set a date and then post?
Okay, motion.
That works.
Okay, second, any further? Hearing none, all in favor? Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0. We are on to reports. City engineer, Leo?
Yes. First one I'd like to report on is well number 2. As of today, we kind of got set up for all the work that needs to happen. Lovewell doing the fence, Kenny Morrison doing the roof, and then Northway doing the scrubbing and televising. Looks like they're gonna start no later than November 17th. And it looks like they should be done by December 10th. If everybody can keep their schedules the way they've said they would, that looks pretty good. And then at that point, we'll then be able to get a report from Northway talking about what the condition of the casing is at well number 2. So that's a long awaited project for me, trying to coordinate schedules, and I think we're there now. Next is did attend a meeting with West Liberty Foods concerning, again, their potential for kind of high strength digestion that would turn into a methane gas. I don't know exactly where this is going. I think you guys probably remember they had CH2M Hill. Now Jacobs do a study on that, and it didn't quite pan out. Now they've got some potential grants from the state looking at it from a little bit different clean energy kind of a view. And now maybe it does have some life. So that's something that's kind of circling back around, and something that Lisa City and city manager and I set in on a meeting we need to keep our eye on and make sure we understand where that's going and good informed. And then the last thing is Rainbow Drive. We are still working on that. I will get together with the city manager next week, because we do have some alternatives now, and we'd like to kind of go through alternatives so we can get into final design. And that's all I have today. Any questions?
No questions, council? Thank you, Leo.
Thank you.
Meeting minutes.
Just if there are any questions, I don't really have anything to add at this time. If you have any questions on anything on staff minutes, I'd be happy to try to answer those.
Pretty clear. Employee Policy and Grievance Committee.
That'll be met to go over the. So we're gonna have to meet again.
About third way,
Before we do it, it was getting pretty late.
it took us a couple hours to get to the first start.
Yeah.
Okay. I assume you guys would just make a
Yes.
time and date, go from there. Sounds great. We're on to closed session. Does any of the counselors believe we need to go into closed session? Does it need it? Not
Not
seeing
at this
anybody
time.
say anything? Go ahead and not. The closed session, and I would, a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor? Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0, we are closed.